This is an official T.T.R.T documentation. This is going to be a collage of videos, and it is intended for Tucson Police Department Internal Affairs to view, and they're going to have to act on it because I'm going to send them a copy of it. And fellow YouTubers, I'm letting you be the first to review it, and this is how it's going to play. From video to video, I'm going to show what they said. From audio to audio, comparing what they Tucson Police Department personnel has said, including their legal advisor. And then in the end, we'll talk to the CALEA main guy, and his name is Jim Brown, and he's one of their main guys. And of course, he says that yes, Title 17 Fair Use Clause is an acceptable way to copy his manual, and the TPD might not know that, but don't blame them, basically. But they're supposed to be able to think for themselves, and if I'm telling them Title 17 Fair Use applies, they need to type it in their internet browser and look it up and say, oh yeah, research, instead of playing the stumbling block game that they've been playing. And well, here we go. Let's document it, ladies and gentlemen. Take a listen to this. This will be Alan Smith saying, in relation to the CALEA accreditation manual, that the manual, if they have it in their files, then of course it is public record. Well, under A.R.S.13-2407, if it is public record, then it's reviewable and copyable. Not one or the other, but both. So here we go.
Is in harmony with your policies?
Are you talking about CALEA?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, the department is CALEA accredited, yes.
Okay, would that be available for inspection to the public under the public records law, that manual you guys have?
I don't...
Well, you guys maintain it. That means it's public record, right?
Yeah, I mean, if we have access, if there is such a thing, I don't even know if there is such a thing as an actual manual out there. But probably you should call the Public Information Office, and they can probably give you some better information than I can as far as that. But if there is something that, you know, is on file or on record, then of course it is public record, yes.
Right. Okay, do you have...
Then of course it is public record, yes, if they have something that is on file. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, from Internal Affairs. Let's go to the next video here. And he wasn't even aware if they have it, and he's Internal Affairs. Oh, and by the way, that's the guy that told me they don't take anonymous complaints, and of course then, since they've told him they do, and well, here's the next video. Audio.
But what I want to know is, do you guys have a copy of the accreditation manual down there?
Oh, we do have a copy of the accreditation manual.
Is it open for the public inspection as a public record since you guys maintain it?
Well, you can come and take a look at it, absolutely.
Are we allowed to make copies of it?
No, it's a copyright violation, so you can go onto their website and buy the manual from them.
Okay, what if I'm an investigative journalist and copyright protection would only be extended to the certain fair use factors under Title 17, and I could actually gain copies of pages that I needed for, let's say, a story I'm doing?
Yeah, but still, we can't make copies of the manual.
Okay, well, I could bring a portable copy machine.
Well, it's not that we're not that we can't. We have a copy machine here. We're just not allowed by CALEA to make copies for anyone.
Well, okay. You guys honor the public records law?
Well, yes, we do.
And I understand about the copyright thing, so don't get me wrong, but under Title 17, Section 107, certain material can be copied and used for education, reporting, and it falls under the fair use of such copyright material, and it's allowable. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
And ladies and gentlemen, that was, I believe that was Anna Lilia from the T.P.D. And she was unaware, and I guess nor did she look up on the internet to see, just following orders from everybody else by the time I talked to her back. But let's check the next one here and see what happens. This is a call to the U of A Law Library. Hey, thanks, TJ. Who indicated yes, it happens basically every day at the library, and they to allow you to make copies of copyrighted books under fair use for education. The library knows this. Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Check it out.
Yeah, it doesn't look like we have it.
No, I see. Hey, TJ, do you know how does that work at with books? All kinds of books are copyrighted. Is it acceptable for education and research under that Title 17 thing to copy a few pages out of a book that's, say, copyrighted?
Yeah, if you're just using it for educational purposes, you're fine.
And research or comments, journalism, news, there's a few different things I thought that was acceptable. But yeah, that is acceptable. I mean, it happens in libraries every day, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, exactly, ladies and gentlemen. It happens in libraries every day. TPD might now be the library police chasing people walking towards photocopy machines. I mean, I don't know, but that seems to be their take on copyrighted books, even though someone wants to exercise the fair use clause found within Title 17. Let's take a look at the next and a listen of this next audio documentation involving Baird Green, I believe, and that's the city attorney, legal advisor for the police department. Let's see what he has to say here.
Okay, that would be Baird Green.
Baird?
Yes, and who am I speaking with?
This is Mr. Ray.
Okay, one moment, please.
Baird Green.
Good morning, sir. Aaron Ray here, returning your call from, I believe it was Thursday, the 28th of October, relating to the CALEA manual.
Yes, sir. We don't believe that the CALEA manual is a public record, so we won't make copies for you, but you are welcome to come into the facility and review it here if you would like to.
So you guys don't maintain it?
I'm sorry?
You believe that it's not a public record, or for sure it's not a public record?
Yes, it's not a public record.
Okay, Alan Smith of the Internal Affairs has recently told me that if they maintain it, it's public record, something of that nature. Is he wrong?
Well, I haven't spoken to him, so I couldn't answer that. But if you'd like to come in and review it, you're more than welcome to.
Okay, but the fact is I'm not allowed to make copies?
That is correct. Yes, it's copyrighted.
I'm sorry. But when I go to the library to make copies out of a book or something, that stuff's all copyrighted too. And I'm an investigative journalist, and I would probably only need about 1 to 10 pages to go with a story I'm putting together. So it's out of the question to copy it, period, no ifs, ands, or buts?
Yeah, that's how I understand. I mean, we spoke with CALEA to see if they had a problem with that, and they do. And since they hold the copyright, then we couldn't be a party to that.
Well, I understand what you're saying, but let me see if you...
Well, there it is, ladies and gentlemen, and TPD Internal Affairs, that they believe it's not, but then they say it's not public record. That's Baird Green's legal opinion, since he is the city attorney. Totally ignoring the fact that A.R.S.13-2407 mandates that public records can be inspected and reviewed, not one or the other. Okay, let's go along to the next video here and document that. Now, this guy could have said, let me look it up on the computer. Oh yeah, Title 17, fair use. But what happened is he's made his opinion, or someone else made it for him, and he's going along with it, just like L.C. Souter, Lieutenant L.C. Souter from CALEA. And well, let's see what she has to say here. She's from the CALEA headquarters in the TPD. She runs a office or something there.
I'm very good, thank you. Yourself?
Well, I'm okay.
Well, I just wanted to let you know that I had spoken with our legal advisor. I work for the police department, spoke with Baird Green, and I run the CALEA office. And I understand you had wanted to come up and view our manual?
Yes, I do, and I probably wanted to copy a couple of the pages. They told me they didn't allow it, but I know for education and research it is allowable. What do you know?
Well, actually, because it is copyrighted and relying upon the advice of the city attorney's office here in Tucson, I'm not going to be allowed to let you make any copies of it. But if you would like to get a hold of the CALEA folks, I think that they might be able to do that for you because it is their manual, their material.
Well, they already gave me one part of it,
Okay.
and they invited me to purchase it. But I do know that when you go to the library and photocopy something that's copyrighted, you're allowed to do it for education and research.
Well, and I really don't want to get into an argument with you about that, but I am relying on the advice of counsel for the department right now.
Okay.
I'm going to be able to do that, but you're more...
Just gotta pause here a second, ladies and gentlemen in internal affairs. I'm relying on the advice of counsel, she says. And so what she's also saying is, if counsel says tar and feather Mr. Ray, then I'm just gonna do it, and I'm not gonna think about it, and I'm not gonna see if it's right or wrong. I'm just gonna act like a robot and follow orders. Well, Lieutenant Elsie Souter, in my opinion, my strong opinion, has a duty to do what's right and not just follow orders. If they said tar and feather me, she would have a duty to not do it. If they're saying don't give me some public records and trying to make up a copyright infringement violation when I'm using the fair use clause that they can't do that with, then she needs to learn how to think for herself and just look on the internet. Oh, Title 17 fair use. Oh, well, you know what, Mr. Ray, you're right. I'll take care of this. But no, tar and feather me. Put a stumbling block in my way. Anyways, I'm going to keep playing this. I just had to put that in there.
Welcome to come look at it if you'd like to.
Okay, and once again, I don't mean to sound argumentative. Sometimes you guys think I like to argue, but I like to find out what's actual factual and what's not.
Okay.
Because I just spoke with T.P.D. Internal Affairs Alan Smith a couple days ago, and he told me that if you guys have a copy of it, then it's maintained, basically, and that it is public record. So do you think that guy gave me false information?
I wouldn't say false information, but without having been privy to the conversation, it's kind of hard for me to even comment on it. But he may have been under the impression that it was not copyrighted material, or perhaps it was our material.
Maybe that's possible. He's also
doesn't work in the office. He's not as familiar with the CALEA manual.
Yeah, he was also under the impression that the TPD doesn't take anonymous complaints, but the policy says it does, and so does the accreditation manual.
Actually, we do take anonymous complaints. My understanding is that situation was remedied already, that the lieutenant of the Internal Affairs Section sent you a letter earlier in October letting you know that we do take anonymous complaints.
Right.
And, in fact, we actually have taken quite a few of anonymous complaints in the past. So that was one anomaly, I'd like to say, where he gave out some incorrect information, but that's been rectified, and he's well aware that we do take them now.
I see. Rectified meaning he won't tell anybody else that they don't take anonymous complaints and that they do.
Yep, certainly, we hope he does not. He's a smart man. I'm sure he's got that right now.
Okay, anonymous complaints, ladies and gentlemen, that was rectified. However, the response letter said there was no violations of law or policy, but this lieutenant said that that was rectified. Okay, what's there to rectify if there was no violations? This guy told me he didn't take anonymous complaints at Internal Affairs, and then their policy and CALEA manual says they're mandated to, and then something's been rectified, but there's no violations of law or policy. What? Sounds kind of fishy. Okay, let's check out the next one. Internal Affairs and ladies and gentlemen, fellow YouTubers. Sergeant Lopez, not allowed to copy. This is from video 0122.
Are you there, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I talked to Baird Green. He said that you can come down and review it, you just are not able to make any copies of it.
I'm still not allowed to make, but he knows that the records request is in, and he still said no.
He said you are allowed to review it, you're just not allowed to copy. He said that would apply to the copyright, and he said that he understood your concerns. However, he said you're not able to copy it. You're only allowed to come down and review it. You want to come down and review it?
Well, I do, but how can I research, say, Internal Affairs complaints, and if I'm not allowed to copy portions under the Fair Use Clause in Title 17, which is copyright infringement stuff, but there is a Fair Use Clause.
That doesn't apply here. He says you're only allowed to come down and review it.
Copyright infringement clauses don't apply there, she says. Once again, an example of following orders like a robot. Why couldn't this lady jump on the internet and type in Title 17, Fair Use Clause, so she could read to me wherever she thinks it says that I can't make partial copies of the CALEA manual. And once